looking at this pile of books in front of me and I'm thinking I did quite well this month, I barely hauled anything. But I don't know if like normal people would call this a small haul. Hi everyone, my name is Chloe, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here today. Today's video is going to be my June book haul. Like I said, my June book haul feels quite small to me compared to like previous months where it's been 20 something. But it's still like, how many books is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Still 12 books. So it's not small, is it really? But let's just like not even try and justify how many books I'm buying because I've been there, done that before. And let's just talk you through what I hauled during the month of June. So the first book that I hauled, actually I did not buy and did not intend on getting at all. And I was gifted this by the most random of people. Basically where I work we have security guards, and one of the security guards was telling me a story about how he had ordered something from Amazon, and somebody had clearly, somewhere along the way, somebody had clearly stolen the item that he'd ordered. He'd ordered like a tablet computer type thing, and what arrived was the box that the tablet should have been in and a book that had been put inside it, clearly to try and like trick the weight. And he complained to Amazon, got a new tablet sent out, and they didn't ask him to return anything. So he ended up with this book that he wasn't quite sure what to do with, and he asked me as the sort of resident reader in the office of, do you know anyone, who do you think I should give it to? Like, who do you think I should give it to? Should I pass it on to anyone? And I had already said that I actually already own this book. It's a book I really enjoy, but there is a new edition of this book, so I asked, bring it in, I'm just going to have a look at it. And it ended up being that it is the edition that I don't have yet. So that book is Solitaire by Alice Oseman. For anyone who doesn't know, this is Alice Oseman's first book, and she has done some revisions, one to make it fit in more with the Heartstopper world because Nick and Charlie are in this book, but also because there's a couple of like wordings and things that she just wouldn't necessarily stand by now. She wrote this when she was a teenager, and there are some things that maybe shouldn't have been in there that she has tweaked and changed. And there is actually, and the way to know, by the way, if you're getting the older one or the newer one, is whether or not it's got an author's note at the beginning from Alice, which was actually, this was author's note was written in August 2020, and she does say that she edited it to bring it more in line with the events of Heartstopper alongside editing various elements of the story I felt were particularly harmful or sensationalised. So I probably will reread this at some point because I would like to see what those edits are, because there are some things in the original version of Solitaire that throw me off a little bit when I'm reading it. So I'm excited to see what this new version is like. I don't think it's dramatically different, but still, do I need an excuse to reread Alice Oseman? No, I don't. But I'm very happy to the security guard at work for making sure that I had a new copy of this. I don't have to go out and buy it now. So thanks for that. The next few books that I got, one of them I got because I actually needed it for the next in the series, because it's a series I'm sort of keeping up to date with. And then the other one was just on offer, so I thought why not buy the next one after it as well while I'm there. And that is Blood of Dragons, which is the 4th book in the Rainbow Chronicles and the 13th book in the Realm of the Eldling series by Robin Hobb. I can't tell you too much about this one because it will spoil everything that's come before, but it's about this group of people who are tasked with helping some dragons move from one area to another, and it's just about what happens with them and the dragons as it goes along. Not too much else to say. I have actually read this one now, and it's my least favourite series in the Realm of the Elderlings, but I still very much enjoyed it. The next one that I got is the next book in that overall series, so it is Fool's Assassin, which is book 1 of Fitz and the Fool, which is the final Fitz trilogy. It is the final trilogy in the Realm of the Elderlings so far. She might write more, we don't know. But first things first, can we appreciate like the gold of this one? Like, look at the glow up from one series to another. But I am terrified of reading this series because I don't think we're going to end in a particularly happy place for Fitz. I mean, I have a feeling about how the series is probably going to end, and I love Fitz so much and I don't want to see him go through more pain, but I am also very happy to have another Fitz trilogy to read. So yeah, this one was on sale on Amazon for like £2 something, so I was like, I'm going to buy this now rather than waiting until I need it. And as it happens, I read 2 of the Rainbow Chronicles books last month, so I actually do need it now anyway. And yeah, I've got 2 more left to buy, and then I will have all of the Realm of the Elderlings books. I mean, that's sad, even though like it's happy because I'm loving this series, but it's still sad. I don't want it to be over. Anyway, next book that I got, I picked up in Waterstones when I had some points on my card, and this one is Double Book. I picked this one up because Maddie from Book Browsing Blog read this one I think earlier this month and really liked it, and it sounded really intriguing, and they had one copy left in Waterstones, so I thought, why not? I will read you the synopsis because I will not be able to give a good synopsis. Georgina has a strict routine. 1. Teach piano to bored children. 2. Schedule dates with long-term boyfriend. 3. Repeat until dead. Perfect. But then one wild night she auditions for a famous lesbian pop band and realises 1. She longs to play her own music. 2. She wants to be just like them. 3. Their drummer is really hot. Realising she might be bisexual, Georgina and her schedule are in chaos. Torn between the safety of her old life and the freedom of a new one, she does what any rational person would do. She splits herself in two. After all, 2 lives are twice the fun, right? I think this sounds really good, and yeah, I'm hoping to read it pretty soon. It didn't really fit in with last month with Marvel-a-thon plans, but I'm hoping to get to this one sooner rather than later because it just sounds like a book I want to be reading right now, to be honest. So, and not bad when it only ended up costing me about £2 because of the £10 voucher that I had on my Waterstones card, plus like something else I had left over. So, not bad so it was a steal, really. Seems to be a lot of books that I'm not really paying for this month. I've had one that I was gifted from someone at work, one that was really cheap on Amazon, and then one that I had Waterstones points for. And then this next one I was also gifted because this one is The Friend Scheme by Kale Dietrich. This one I got from Gem, Bookish Gems. I will link her channel down below. She gifted me this one because she was unhauling it. I have read another Kale Dietrich book before. It was If This Gets Out with Sophie Gonzalez, and I think Gem said when she was unhauling this that she really enjoyed it, but she knows objectively it's not a good book, and I'm like, you know what, that sounds fine to me. I hope I also really enjoy it. And I will read you the synopsis. It says, Matt's father is a criminal with high hopes that his son will follow in his footsteps. His family is at war with another, and Matt's dad is caught in the crossfire. Matt and his older brother are expected to fight for their family, but deep down Matt has other ambitions and attractions. When he meets Jason, Matt believes he might be falling deeper than friendship for the first time. The boys keep their connection a secret, and soon Matt suspects that Jason is part of the family that tried to kill his father. The truth, however, is even more shattering, and Matt must decide if he can ever break free and own who he really is and who he is meant to love. This sounds so dramatic, but I'm very, very excited for it. Like I said, I really enjoyed the other book that I read by this author. It was written with another author that I really like, so I don't know whose writing style I liked more, but I'm intrigued to see what it is. Said she was unhauling it anyway, so I'm just like, send it in my direction because I was going to buy it eventually. So thank you to Gem for this one. We then have got a book that I picked up because it's going to be traditionally published, and I wanted to get a self-published version before you can't get these anymore, and that is Legends and Lotes by Travis Baldry. This is a cozy fantasy all about an orc who decides to give up the warrior life and open a coffee shop. I'm not going to read the full synopsis to you for this one because I think that's pretty much what it says, and that's pretty much all I know about it, other than the fact that Lisa from Lisa Does Life loves this book. Gem has also read it actually, but Lisa is the one that is constantly telling people to read it. So I bought this, like I said, because I wanted to get the self-published version because they're going to change the cover and things, and I wanted to get this version before I couldn't get it anymore, and I really hope I love it. It is on my TBR for July, so I shall be reading it pretty soon, but I really, really hope I love it because Lisa goes on about this book so much, and yeah, I have very high hopes for it. We are up to the pretty special editions and book box subscriptions section of this video. I think most of these books now, like, people should have received them. I got the Fairy Loot Adult and the Fairy Loot Young Adult ones here. I did not get the Illumicrate box this month because I decided to skip it because I'd not heard great things about the book, and the fandoms and the items didn't intrigue me too much anyway. And I also, because I've switched to the Fairy Loot Young Adult book only, which means I didn't get the second book. But if for whatever reason you haven't received either of your Fairy Loot ones this month, you might want to skip this next section, because first I'm going to be talking about the adult Fairy Loot one, which doesn't really feel that adult. Like, this subscription in general, a lot of the books don't seem to feel that adult. I know this one is supposed to be an adult, but it's an author who writes a lot of YA, so I think it's probably going to have a fair amount of crossover. That being said, I am still really excited about this book. I actually had it pre-ordered from Waterstones, and I need to do something about that because it's not out yet, but Fairy Loot got it really, really early, and that is Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. So this is about a government department of witches, from what I know. It says, hidden among us is a secret coven of witches. Known as Her Majesty's Royal Coven, they protect crown and country from magical forces and otherworldly evil, but their greatest enemy will come from within. There are whisperings of a prophecy that will bring the coven to its knees, and 4 best friends are about to be caught at the centre. Will Helena, Neve, Leonie and Elle be able to stop the prophecy before it's too late, or will the differences that have seen them grow apart since childhood be too great to overcome? Life as a modern witch was never simple, but now it's about to get apocalyptic. I mean, this should have been read last month from Marvel-a-thon, really, but I didn't get around to it. But I'm very, very excited about this one. Like I said, I've had my eye on it for a while. I do like this edition. I know not everyone does. I like the yellow and pink. We've also got the black sprayed edges with a quote in Latin that I'm not even going to try and pronounce. And then we've got end papers that are signed by Juno Dawson. And then this is the underneath with the bright pink and what I'm assuming is the crest of the coven. And yeah, I actually, like I said, love this version. I like how bright it is. I know not everyone does, but fingers crossed I like this one, and fingers crossed I can exchange the Waterstones one, because I think it's probably too late to cancel it. We'll see. So now we have got the YA Fairy Loot, which is also yellow but not quite as bright. And I mean, the cover of this one looks more adult than the YA. Looks more adult than the adult one did, and the adult one looks more YA. I know you can't judge it by its cover, but it just does. But this one is This Vicious Grace by Emily Theoday. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm very sorry, I did not look this up before this video. But yes, I know absolutely zero about this one. It has not been on my radar whatsoever, and I don't think I have read the synopsis, so let's just read it now, shall we? Alyssa's gift from the gods is supposed to magnify her partner's magic, not kill every suitor she touches. Now, with only weeks left until a swarm of demons devours everything on her island home, Alyssa is running out of time to find a partner and stop the invasion. When a powerful priest convinces the faithful that killing Alyssa is the island's only hope, even her own soldiers try to assassinate her. Desperate to survive, Alyssa hires Dante, a cynical outcast marked as a killer, to become her personal bodyguard. But as rebellion explodes outside the gates, Dante's dark secrets may be the biggest betrayal. Dante holds the key to Alyssa's survival and her heart. Is he the one person who can help her master her gift, or will he destroy her once and for all? I had to correct myself so many times in reading that. It sounds quite interesting, actually. We have got pretty end papers as always. I'm assuming that is Alyssa and Dante. And then we've got this on the under dust jacket. And the sprayed edges are actually kind of hard to see on camera, but it is this sort of lemon tree pattern that is all around the book as well, which is really cute. And it is a signed copy as well. So yeah, not one I'd really had on my radar, but I do really like this edition, and reading that, it sounds like something I might like. Let's see when I eventually pick it up, because I do not have the best track record of picking up Fairy Loot books. Now we've got another special edition, but this is one that's been out for a while. I just finally decided to use some Litjoy vouchers, because I signed up for Lunicorns a few months ago when the Nevernight set was coming up, so that I could get the early access, because I wasn't sure how quickly it'd sell out. It's still not even sold out yet, but anyway, I then forgot to cancel it straight away, so I was accumulating points, but I didn't have like quite enough to get a decent voucher, so I decided to wait until I got to enough to get a $75 voucher and then spend it and then cancel it, which is exactly what I've done. I've ended up buying another special edition that is on its way. I think it should be coming like this week. And then I got this one, which is Pride and Prejudice. So we've got Elizabeth on the front, we've got Darcy on the back. This is a pretty slipcase. And then we have the actual book, which this is absolutely stunning. So that's Elizabeth and Darcy. We've then got what I'm assuming is Pembrey on the back, and it's got like gilded gold edges. It's got a quote on the front end paper as well. It says, "It's truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of good fortune must be in want of a wife," which is the first line in the book. And then at the back we've got, "I could easily forgive his pride if he had not mortified mine," which is another quote from the book. And then throughout this we've got illustrations as well that have all got this sort of metallic finish to them as well. It's just a really, really beautiful copy. Pride and Prejudice is one of my favourite classics. The other book that I've got from Litjoy is also one of my favourite classics. Like I said, I will show you that one next month when it arrives. But I'm very happy to have this. It also has a little thank you card that tells you a little bit more about this edition as well. So happy to have that one. Okay, we are nearly at the end now. We're actually at the last two that I bought myself, so you know, like I said, smaller haul than usual, definitely. And I personally did not buy that many books this month, because like subscription boxes can't count as much, because I've already spent the money for those. I don't even think about those. And then like I had a fair few gifted, and my last one this month is going to be gifted, so I personally think I did really well this month. Anyway, back to actually talking about the books. The next ones that I got, I went into Waterstones and took and bought some things at one buy one get one half price. That is basically it. One of them is one that I was wanting to get, and I bought it as well because Yalk next week is to get it signed. It's not supposed to be out until I think the day Yalk starts, but they had it in the shops already, so I was obviously going to buy it, especially because Becca Fowle really loved this book, and she made me really intrigued to read it. So that is The King is Dead by Benjamin Dean. Benjamin Dean is normally wrote middle grade. He wrote Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow and The Secret Sunshine Project. I've read Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow. I don't know if I'm reading The Secret Sunshine Project. I'm in two minds about it at the minute, but I did really want to read this one. This is his YA debut. When mysterious green envelopes start appearing in the palace, threatening to expose every last skeleton in the royal closet, James becomes certain of one thing: trust nobody. I like royalty stories, but we all know what one of my favourite books is. I also grew up reading like The Princess Diaries. I think that's where a lot of my love of royalty inspired stories starts from, but this one sounds perfect. Actually, Princess Diaries and Gossip Girl were my two favourite book series growing up, so yes for this one. And yeah, we'll see how this one goes. I might try and read this quickly before Yalk so that I can actually, I like when I meet an author being able to talk about the book rather than just sort of, I will get it signed anyway, but when I meet an author I would like to actually be able to talk about the book and tell them whether I liked it. So yeah, very excited to read this one. Also, this one does have yellow sprayed edges. It goes with the like caution tape on the front. Again, picked up another one buy one get one half price because it's one that I've been thinking about getting but wasn't that sure, and then I thought, oh, while it's on offer I might as well, and that is You've Reached Sam. This one, which is apparently a TikTok sensation, is one of those stupid stickers that can't be removed, but this one says it is about 17-year-old Julie Clark has her future all planned out, move out of her small town with her boyfriend Sam, attend college in a city, spend the summer in Japan, but then Sam dies and everything changes. Heartbroken and desperate to hear him one more time, Julie calls Sam's phone just to listen to his voicemail recording, and Sam picks up the phone. The connection is temporary, but hearing Sam's voice makes Julie fall for him all over again, and with each call it becomes harder to let him go. What would you do if you had a second chance at goodbye? This reminds me a little bit of Landline by Rainbow Rowell, which is an adult book, which is about a woman who ends up like separated from her husband at Christmas because of like travel and work plans and things, and she ends up calling off of her landline at her parents' house, and the person who answers is her husband, but from like 15 years ago when they first met when they were teenagers. And it reminds me a little bit of that, but sadder because the boyfriend is actually dead in this version. But I have just been intrigued by it and not sure if I wanted to pick it up, so like I said, while it was on buy one get one half price, I thought I might as well. And then last but not least, we have a gifted book from the lovely Lisa. She gifted all of the captains of Marvelathon a book to say thank you, which she did not have to do at all because just inviting us onto it and us all having a really good month was thank you enough. But I do really appreciate this. She's gifted me Hollow Pox, The Hunt for Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This is the third book in the Nevermore series. Lisa has now gifted me 2/3 of the books that are released so far in the series, because this is the latest one that's been published, and I bought the first one many years ago. She ended up giving me the second one when I sort of gave her some books I was on haul in, and now she's ended up buying me the third one for Marvelathon. So thank you, Lisa, for providing me with ways to read more of this series. Can you now find a way to make the next one come out quicker, and particularly quicker in paperback, because it's been delayed, and I am not only going to have to wait till like the delayed date for the story to come out at all, but also I read them in paperback, so I've got to wait another year after that. So if you could like find some way to do that, that'd be great. But yeah, this is the third book in this series. These all follow a girl called Morrigan Crow who believed that she was cursed and she was destined to die at, I always want to say it's her 12th birthday, but I might have the wrong age. But anyway, on the eve of her birthday, she is taken away to this magical world called Nevermore. The first book is a series of trials to get into the secret society there. The second book is a school setting. I don't quite know what the third one is. I believe it is actually about some sort of magical plague, which sounds like a pandemic type situation, which it's a bit questionable to read about now, but we'll see. I'm still very, very much excited for this one. The first two books in this series got 5 stars from me, so excited to see where this one goes, and then we'll be very stressed because I will then have to wait for the fourth one. But thank you, Lisa, for giving me this one. Right, so that is everything. I'm not going to try and hold them up because I mentioned this in my wrap up, but I've hurt my arm and it's been hurting to hold up these books throughout the video, so I'm not going to attempt to hold them. I've already done it for the thumbnail, but that was all 9 books that I hauled throughout the month of June. I am going to say now that my July haul is probably going to be bigger because Yalk, and yeah, Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. Let me know what your favourite or prettiest book that you hauled during the month of June was, and I will see you guys next time with a new video. Bye.